What is up, everybody? Keith, aka Gear Guy 231, here from Tampa, Florida, home of the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers. Game actually sucked last night, but as a Bucs fan and a Tampa resident my entire life, go Bucs! That was awesome. As Bruce Arians and Tom Brady said, let's run it back again. But this is NBA. You're not here to hear any more things about the Super Bowl. So let's jump into the slate. Quick reminder, bottom right of the screen, subscribe button. Make sure you check out everything we've got going on at FSI. Man, I'll tell you what, we've got even more plans to have even more content on your way. So check that out. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get everything free on this YouTube channel that we have to offer. All right, let's jump into NBA. So kind of before I get into the slate, this has kind of been on my mind because NBA this season with COVID, with all the precautions, with the condensed schedule, all the back-to-backs, all the 3 and 4s, these previews are tough. Zach and I are doing our absolute best. We're trying not to get it out too late in the day where, it's actually hurting us, our ability to get like things ready for our cores and our subscribers. But it's just hard. You do it at, early in the morning, or you do in the afternoon, and, news changes, and this ends up being, kind of worthless by the time lock happens. So I'm going to do my best. I just want to kind of point out some guys in like some situations I'm watching with this starting 5. And, in hopes that even if news changes, you keep in mind of these picks and these plays. Because I think regardless of what happens, based on what we already know to be true, these are some great plays and some guys that you want to target. All right, so let's jump into it. So bearing in mind, even though it's the starting 5, this is not me saying these are the 5 you have to play. These are some guys that just are jumping out early in my research that I want to bring up. So as I always do when I'm doing this, let's start at the top with Bradley Beal. So we have a significant price drop, and we have the chance that Russ Westbrook sits out. Russ Westbrook has not played a back-to-back so far this season. There's a chance, oh, look at that. Russell Westbrook out at 130. So there we go. Brad Beal is a lock in your lineup. And now I'll make him the cover of this at 9,000. Look, Brad Beal doesn't want to be there. Go look at some YouTube clips. There's some times that he's just dogging plays. Yet he gets the ball in his hands and he's going to shoot, or he's going to try to create, or he's going to do something that is good for DFS. And the great news is the Bulls do not have the defense to stop anybody. The biggest concern with Washington right now is, can they keep games competitive? Chances are they will. And here's my thought. At 9K, the chances that Brad Beal gets anything less than 40 are very, very, very slim. Like, it would take a Miami 1 of 14 performance for that to happen. Reality is the ceiling in a close game is 60, 70, up to 80 DK. At 9,000 versus the likes of Zach LaVine, I just don't see the Bulls having the guys to stop him. They could throw Denzel Valentine at him, who's a little bit better defender than LaVine. But Brad Beal at 9K just stands out, and a guy that I definitely want to target. Staying in the same game, Patrick Williams has been phenomenal with the shorthanded front court of the Bulls. We don't have Wendell Carter. We don't have Larry Markkinen. I think I'm missing one other injury too, but reality is Patrick Williams now, the 4th pick in the draft, is locked into huge minutes. He's only 5,100 after 35 and 33 DK the last 2 games. Man, we got news dropping left and right, so I might be some changes here. John Wall and Eric Gordon are both out, so I'm going to jump to that in a second. But let me just finish up Patrick Williams. He's been awesome. I really like to see that, he's an athletic guy and that he's really starting to crash the board. So we have 17 boards in the last 2 games. If we add the 3rd game back there versus the Knicks, now we have, what is that? Testing my math on the spot, 24 rebounds the last 3, double digits in all the games, adding some blocks and steals. So Patrick Williams, 5,100 in a game that's pace is going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts. I love watching Chicago if this game can stay close. Patrick Williams, really like the play. All right. I'm going to freeze for a second and live. I'm going to try to remember just, what exactly Houston's got going on now that we have no Russ, no Eric Gordon, no Christian Wood. So we have Victor Oladipo, who I think at this point, and I'm just going to play around on the fly, is going to be hard to get around. We're going to be struggling for salary here, so I might be dropping off Jokic, who I'm going to still talk about. But, if we put Victor Oladipo there, I also think we're going to see Jayshawn Tate is going to have to jump on a lot of ball handling duties. We also might a guy that I really, really like, who's Sterling Brown. 3,500, I think we need to watch that lineup. But Sterling Brown should be playing some big minutes. That is a really, really nice value down here that we can plug in here and have plenty of value. So, and then I think at that point too, Boogie Cousins is going to be hard to avoid. So, I don't want to give like too much of the lineup. I'm recording. Like, oh well. Who do I want to pull? Let me just take away Williams, who I just talked about. Something along this lines, might make a lot of sense, or even Denzel Valentine we can shove out. But yeah, I kind of guess this is where I'm at on 5. I do just want to say this because I just dropped him out. Denzel Valentine playing huge minutes, huge shots. Look, that's a guy that we've loved in the DFS community for a while. Just needed an opportunity. He's finally starting to get in Chicago. 4,800. I really like him in that game. I also drop up Nikola Jokic based on this news. I still love Jokic. He's probably my favorite spend up on the entire slate. Milwaukee has been dreadful versus centers. I love just spending on value, maybe in GPP, stacking Jokic and Giannis together. But Jokic has legit 70, 80 point ceiling in this matchup versus Milwaukee at home. I just really like the spot. So I'm going to be playing around. He's definitely going to be somebody I have in GPP. So yeah, that's Jokic. That's Denzel Valentine. All right, let's talk about the other guys I have. Victor Oladipo should have enormous usage with no Wall, with no Eric Gordon. The biggest problem with Oladipo is like what we had versus OKC a few nights ago, where he was a huge chalk bust. 24 shots, only hit 8. Not having a lot of big people around him to create. And Charlotte's been pretty good in the backcourt. LaMelo Ball can play some defense. Terry Rozier not so much, but he at least can be annoying. I think Graham's been an underrated defender. He's out tonight. But Victor Oladipo will be chalk. Will absolutely be super popular at 8,100 with nobody else there. I think he's actually a really good GPP fade, even though I have him here. Let me just talk about Boogie Cousins as well. So all the offense is going to go through Cousins and Oladipo. I think Cousins has a lot, is really, really tough to fail with him getting 30 minutes. He should have no problem disposing of Tyler Zeller. That's just a size and, girth mismatch. Just a cute, Cousins, just a big, burly, physical guy. Cody Zeller, while pretty athletic, has been beat up a lot lately. I don't really see him giving Boogie too many problems. When Boogie plays, he doubles. That's just the story. Anytime you see 30 minutes, double, 30 minutes, double, 30 minutes. Even when he went 2 for 16, actually that's not double, right? Only scored 5 points there versus Detroit, but 15 boards, still got there. I had 7,100 salary. So Boogie Cousins, locking my lineups. Kyle Kuzma. So there's no Anthony Davis tonight, most likely. He's unlikely to play. Yeah, I'm going to take the Lakers at their word that, they make LeBron and Davis questionable every night. But tonight they said that Davis is unlikely to play. Kuzma should jump in mid-30s in minutes. He's going to take a lot of those shots. Basley, a good player. But I think just reality is this Kuzma, when we can give him projection of more than 30 minutes, more than 15 shots, he's a talented scorer that just needs kind of the opportunity. So I think Kuzma's guy I'm going to be on. Then just finally, Sterling Brown, probably my favorite. Again, this news is happening fast. But Sterling Brown is a guy I really like when he gets minutes. I don't really see a way that he's not going to get minutes tonight without without Wall and without Gordon. I would think if it were me, I would put Sterling Brown in the starting lineup. It's probably going to be Naba. But Sterling Brown's the guy that I'm more interested in. He could go really low owned, especially if he doesn't start. But when he plays, he produces much like other guys we've talked about. So 3,500, really good value. Somebody I'm very interested in plugging in. All right, that'll do it. A lot of news that happened at 1:30 as I'm recording. So I hopefully did a good job of breaking it down. Good luck tonight for all the subscribers. Make sure you look in the chat around 6:30 when the course for every single slate will be dropped. All showdown, tiers, all the classic slates, all in there. Hope that you join us. So once again, Keith, aka 231. See you.